Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices. And before I start, I just want to make a note on our notifications that go out for our charts and trades and so on. The third-party application that we use, Push Crew, they've got some problems, and hopefully it's resolved in this week sometime. So apologies about those notifications, but we're at the mercy of a third-party application, and they're on it. It's their core business. So yeah. Alrighty, so from the DAX on the daily chart here, as you know, we've been tracking two wave counts, and one of them is this one here, where we have wave 3 here, an A wave, a B wave, a C wave, a D wave, and an E wave for wave 4. And then in the E wave here, we would have 3 waves. There's an A wave going back up for the B wave and down for the C wave, and we'll look at that in a moment. The other count that we've got is more bullish, where we have this as wave 1 and wave 2 here, and then we have this as wave 1 and this is wave 2. But the interesting thing here is that it's already pulled down to its retracement level here, so it could actually just go straight up from that point there. So let's just have a quick look at that. In this regard here, we've got this up for wave 1, ABC for wave 2, this up for 1, an A and a B and a C for wave 2 coming back into the box here, and it can go straight up from this point here. So just getting a bit more clarity on this one on the 2-hour chart here. Yeah, for the where we are with where we're at with this is that in this particular instance here, it's done all its right things. It's pulled back here in the triangle pattern that we're working, and we'll go to that in a minute. We're kind of expecting it to move back up into this box here, the 50 and 60% retracement level, before moving down again. So for this market here, if you do trade it long, say from the this is 12,650 here is really important. It's halfway between 5 and 6 here. It's also the balance point in the whole correction. So look, it could move to here and then fail from here, or it could get on top of here and then just continue to move up from this point. Okay, so yeah, a bit of a rock and a hard place. So let's go in and have a look at this here in a little bit more detail. I mean, if you were going to go long, then this is where you'd go long from, and then you could probably get the stop a little bit closer. We'll just definitely put it to that point, that low there. You may be able to get it to the next low, I'd imagine so. So if I just go back to the bearish count, this is the bearish count here, so coming back up into the box and coming down through to here. And I'll just go to the 1-hour chart here, and in that instance we're looking at this as an A wave, which could also be 5 waves, and then wave B here, and then looking for wave C to move up into this box here. So whichever way we look at it, a session or two of positive moves here. And if I just go to the tick chart here and look at this in a bit more detail, then I'll just drag this back into here. So that's the low here, and considering this here, there's different ways to count this, but basically an A wave to here, or we could also have the A wave sitting over here and an A and a B and a C to here, but not that it matters. I'm really just focusing on this one here. So this one here is quite easy to count. So from this point here, we're looking at this as wave 1 here, and then wave 2, and so we're going up for wave 3 here. So let me try and drag that in. So wave 3 is here. We're looking for 5 waves in that structure, so in the next smaller degree of wave 1 and 2 here, and then into this wave 3 here. So in this structure we're looking for wave 1 and 2 here, and then we'll look at all of this here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third. So still another little, I can't draw on this side of the tick chart. So the 12,650 here, critical number, price point. So up a bit higher and back, and then for the third wave, for the wave 3 up here, and then wave 4 that can pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So taking all that back right to the micro level there, that's where this wave 4 can pull back to once it's up in that space there, and then higher up into this area here. So another way to look at that too, I guess, is just grabbing the top of that and the low of that. So we could end up getting resistance there. Just bring this up a little bit. Plus we've got the 50-60% retracement level too, so you just have to look where that is at that particular point. So yes, right. So in terms of trading this to the upside now, you could put a stop. Well, we'll put a stop here, then to here, then to here, then to here. So you could probably get the stop. You could get it to here, but you don't want to get spiked out. So probably a stop in this space here would be about the closest you'd want to get it if you're going to go long at this moment and remain, you know, reasonably safe. But yeah, what you can say from this picture here is that this is a series of ones and twos in here, so we shouldn't come back to this level here. Nice powerful third wave here. So in terms of this move from B to C up here, this little bit here, that would be the halfway mark, because that would be the third of the third of the third right in the middle here. So basically, if you took all of this here and then flipped it over back over the other way, that's what you're looking at on the other side. The AEX, slightly different count. So we've been counting the AEX as an A coming back here as wave 1 and 2, and all this is the third wave, as you know, and then looking at this as the fourth wave as an A and a B and 5 waves down for a C. So we're looking for a move up through here, but in this case here we expect it to go further than the DAX would go, and in this case we'll look at this as wave 1 here. So pretty much going long here and on new highs, and then you've got your stop here, which you can just, well, pop under here, pop in there, just in there somewhere. Just keep it under this one here for the time being, close enough. And yeah, so I mean, unless wave 4 gets more complicated, at the moment it's just a simple ABC pattern. It could get more complicated. That's the risk in trading wave 4, but yeah. Okay, the FTSE. Oops, that's the S&P. Sorry about that. So the FTSE, this is a little bit like the Italian Borsa, actually, in that the move down through here, what I don't know, it's possible that move down through here, it's probably not the case, but it's possible that that sharp move down here can have this as wave C sitting under here. And it's finished at that point. We go straight up from there. I don't think it's the case, because I'd expect wave C to take out the low here. So it's probable that this is just wave 1 down here coming back for wave 2, then 3, 4 and 5 coming into this space. So whoopsie-daisy. So it's something that we just got to work out as we go. So let's just go in and have a closer look at this. So yes, look, I'd expect this move down here to take out the low of wave A here. It hasn't done that, but it has created 5 waves in here. We have had some like really sort of strange moves going on in all of this here, very complicated. So as you can see here on this wave 4, so this is what I'm not sure about. I don't know if this wave C of 2 is actually finished in here. I don't think it is, because it hasn't made a new low here, and this is a corrective pattern. Okay. The other point here is that if we are going to go lower, then this will be 5 waves down, and then we're looking for an A and a B and a C back up into this top of the 61.8% mark roughly, and then move down from that point there. So you can look to short, and then just go to the hourly chart here, get some more detail on here. So yeah, from B to C here, it's possible, but I'd just rather wait for a little bit here. So what we can do is the top of the box is the 61.8%. And then we've got gravitating towards the closest largest number, the 700 here, and we'll obviously get a reaction in this space because we're at the 61.8% and we're at the 700, so expect a correction there. So if we do get we'll get a reaction there anyway, but then if we get a reaction, then move higher, and then we get a corrective move here, and then support here, well then we'll look to go long above here. Okay, so we need that classic trading levels pattern sitting on top of the 61.8% and the closest largest number here, and we'll go long. But otherwise we can expect to move to the 700 and then basically work lower from there. So we need to find our way in. We know there's still a session to go. So if you've got a keen sort of eye, then you could just sell it at the 700. But if not, on a smaller scale, if you've got just on a sort of tick chart or something, if you got from here, if you get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down here, then you get your little ABC here, then you can go short across here, short across here. Because you've got 5 waves down from the top, and then you got your then you're bound to get another 5, and then you put your stop up here. You may not be the end of the trend and we keep going straight up, but if we're going to go lower, then we test the trend line and then go back and then head on down from that point. So there's a lot, once you understand that basic pattern there, then there's a lot you can do with it in terms of moving in and managing that risk at that particular point. So, but still, the other markets and this market will still be going a little bit higher just yet. So this move down here is the same for the MIB as well. So on the 4-hour chart here, we've got a slightly different pattern in the bigger picture, but the move down through here, we could call it complete, and we could put this wave 5 in here, but it's also possible to just have it as wave 1 in here. So this is what I don't know here, and then looking for copying this and putting this back up here into wave 2 here. But we can easily get a strategy here. We just have to be a little bit more patient, and the strategy is really quite simple in that any move up here, this is the 50-60% retracement level, and obviously we can see the resistance coming in at the 22 here. So if we find, we've got plenty of time, if we find support here on the 22, well then that creates the long trade. But otherwise we just need to expect a move up and then down from here, and then we'll need to look at short trades from that point. So we can go long like I've just explained in the DAX. We can go long a little bit up here if you wanted to. However, it could be short-lived and turn and move down, so we need a short trading strategy for that. And then if you exit up here with a trailing stop, then next long trade would be on the 22 here, if it was going to come in that thing, because otherwise we need to look at this as 1 and 2 here and 3 down here, and then 4 and then 5 coming down into this space here, which is probably the case. But as always, we need the evidence to do that. So anyway, let's drill in. We know just before I leave here, 22 here, we can go short, go long in the mean term, short term, 22,000 here. If that ever becomes support, that's where the longer term long trade would come in. Okay, otherwise we'll catch that longer term long trade from down in this space here. So just drilling in here from the 4-hour to say the 1 hour. This is how I was thinking about it. We call the 5 waves down here now as wave 1, or the end of the structure as wave 5. The move up through here will be conservative, and we'll take it as wave 1 here, going for an A and a B and a C for wave 2 here. And like I said, if it gets support on this 22 here, well then we'll go long from that point there. Okay, so let's just go into the tick chart and have a look at this. But before we go, we're looking at this as 1 and 2, and then all the 3rd wave here, the 4th and the 5th wave here. So on the tick chart here, 100 ticks. We can just open this up a little bit here. So in this case here, we're looking for wave 4, and then wave 5 is a bit short, but it's okay. Looking at this as wave A here, wave B here, and then wave C. So with Elliott and a simple zigzag pattern, there's a lot of relationships. If we're dealing with a flat correction in a wave 4 here, then wave A and wave C would be roughly the same. But when we're talking a zigzag pattern, we could have equality in wave C. We could move 61.8% of wave A would equal wave C, or wave C could be much longer and be 1.1618. So there's a lot of things that it could be. So I'm not going to worry about that too much, but this box here is pretty much the 61.8% retracement level we're looking at. And in terms of structure, we're looking at this as wave A, wave B here, and then wave 1 and 2 here, and then we're going into wave 3. So in wave 3 we've got wave 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 here, and then we've got the little third wave. So normally what I find is wave 3 hits the previous top here, in doesn't matter what degree of structure that you're looking at. So that's always quite helpful. And we're also going into group 2 here, 65, 72 and 80 here. So yeah, but once again, this little trend here, this would be the halfway mark in this little bit just in here. So we're over the halfway mark. We'll push up to the 700 here, and then we're going to react from that point and come back. It can pull back to this space here, the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, and then a push up into the 800 area through here. It is lagging a little bit in here, so it may not stretch up to the top of the box here, but probably to the 21.8 here. So that would be the target that you'd be looking at in terms of trading. So that's it. Once again, any stop within here would need to go under here. You could probably lift it a little bit higher, but it's just good to keep it out of the way. So if you went long now, then you could probably put it up into that one there, at least under there. You can take it higher, probably to there, but I wouldn't go much further than that. But that's where it would be there. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. Cheers.